Hello, my dear students of grade 5. I'm Shravika Jamnik, your teacher for today. Are you missing school? Too bored sitting at home? Well, worry not. Today I'm here to have a fun learning session with you. But before we begin, let's take a look at these pictures. Hmm. Did your mouth start watering? Mine did for sure. What do you think made this possible? If you guessed it correctly, excellent. But if you haven't, it is because of the nervous system. So let's learn about the nervous system today. What is the nervous system? The nervous system is the main controlling unit of our body. It comprises of three main components. These components are our brain, spinal cord, and the nerves. Let's learn about these components together. Take a look at the diagram in front of you. What do you see in it? We see the brain. Connected to the brain is the spinal cord extending throughout the back of the human body and the nerves. The nerves are spread throughout our body. Let's take a look at the first component of the nervous system, that is the brain. A very important organ, our brain. It is delicate and therefore it is enclosed inside the skull. The skull is a part of a bone structure. To cushion the brain, the space between the brain and the skull is filled with a jelly-like fluid. Can you think why that is? The jelly-like fluid between the brain and the skull softens any kind of blow to the head. It acts like a cushion which protects the brain from a blow. Our brain in turn constitutes of three different components. These components are the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the medulla. The medulla is also called as brainstem. Let's first learn about the cerebrum. The cerebrum is the largest and highly developed part of the brain. What is the location of the cerebrum? It is located in the upper part of the brain and covers the front and back part of the head. You can think of it as the entire portion of our head is basically the cerebrum. The cerebellum and the medulla constitute only a small portion of our head. Now, what is the function of the cerebrum? I like to remember it as MILT, M-I-L-L-T, and it stands for memory, intelligence, learning, logic, and thinking. Try to remember it this way. I bet it will be easier. The next portion of the brain is the cerebellum. As you can see, it is located right below the cerebrum. It may look small, but it has a lot of important functions. These functions are: it helps in maintaining posture and balance. It regulates our muscular movements and coordination. Fun facts. If a person is a good dancer, he or she probably has a good functioning cerebellum. And when a person drinks alcohol, they can't maintain balance because the cerebellum gets affected. The last part of the brain is the medulla. It is also called as the brain stem. Probably because this portion of the brain looks like a stem, doesn't it? Where is it located? It is located beneath the cerebellum. What are the functions of the medulla? The medulla acts as a connector between the brain and the spinal cord. It controls activities such as heartbeat, breathing, sneezing, and swallowing. Here's a small quiz for you. Take a look at these actions and think which part of brain is responsible for them. Did you get it? If not, please go back to the descriptions of the portions of brain and I'm sure you will get it. The brain, being an important organ of our body, requires continuous supply of oxygen and blood to function well. The brain is also divided into two hemispheres, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. And there seems to be a cross connection between the hemispheres and the sides of the body, meaning the right hemisphere of the brain controls the left side of the body and the left hemisphere of the brain controls the right side of the body. Weird, isn't it? Another fun fact about our brain. Do you see the convolutions on the brain? It is believed that the more the convolutions, the more intelligent you are. The next part of the nervous system is our spinal cord. As you can see, the spinal cord is a long thread-like structure that extends from the base of the brain down to the end of our backbone. It extends throughout the back of a human being. The backbone surrounds the spinal cord and protects it from jerks and injuries. This backbone is also called the vertebrae. So there's the spinal cord and surrounding it is the vertebrae protecting it at all times. What are the functions of the spinal cord? The spinal cord transfers information from brain to the rest of the body. It controls reflex actions. What are reflex actions? You must have come across this video. A cat, when suddenly sees a cucumber, gets so scared that it can't help but jump. Happens with us too, right? When we are watching a horror movie and a ghost suddenly appears, we jump. This is because of the reflex actions. Let's learn about them. When we encounter a sudden unknown event, our body needs to react very quickly. Imagine a hot pan and you touch it for some reason. You will instantly pull your hand back. Why is this? This is because of the reflex actions. The reflex action is a sudden action or an automatic response to an event. They are very fast. The message is sent and received by the spinal cord only. So, in case of a reflex action, the signals are sent to the spinal cord instead of the brain. The body needs to react very quickly. So, the best solution is to reduce the journey of the signal. And this can be done by sending the signal to the spinal cord instead of the brain. And now you know why your actions are so quick in case of a stimulus. Now let's learn about the last part of the nervous system, the nerves. There are numerous thread-like structures present in our body. They connect the brain to all parts of our body. When you feel your fingertips, it is because nerves are present over there. Your toes, the nerves are present there as well. Even on your head, there are multiple nerves present. These nerves help you to feel everything around you. So they may look small, but they are very important indeed. The nerves are in turn divided into three types: the sensory nerves, the motor nerves, and the mixed nerves. The sensory nerves, they send messages from the organs to the brain. The motor nerves do the exact opposite thing. They send the messages from the brain to the organs, and the mixed nerve, as the name suggests, does both these things. It carries messages from the brain to the organ and from the organ to the brain. You can remember it as the sensory nerves send the message from the organ to the brain. When your fingertips touch something, it touches with help of the skin, and the skin is an organ. So now when you're touching something, you're sending the signal from the skin, that is the organ, to the brain. And the motor nerve will do the opposite. It will send the message from the brain to the organ. And I'm sure mixed nerve is easy to remember. Let's revise everything we have learned today. The parts of the nervous system are divided into three parts. These are the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerves. The brain is further divided into three components: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the medulla. The spinal cord, thankfully, is not divided further. Thank God, right? The nerves are divided into sensory nerves, motor nerves, and mixed nerves. Try to remember the functions of each of these components. I hope you can remember it. Have a good day.